Hi friends, it's Dr. Edith Ubuntu Chan. I'm a holistic high performance coach and a Chinese medicine doctor. Here with another episode of Activate Your Awesomeness. Sometimes life throws you curveballs and it can be really challenging for us to surrender to all the changes in life. We live in such an amazing time of so many changes. Sometimes we just feel dizzy and we lose our bearings and we feel anxiety and fear amidst all of this change. As many of you know, I used to work in software. I have a degree in math from Harvard and I was on track to have a really successful software career. And one day I just heard in my soul this stirring to pursue my childhood dream to become a Chinese doctor. But of course, a lot of fear and anxiety comes up. One of the biggest anxieties is how will I make a living? You know, throwing away my well-paying job, all the salary, and just, I don't know if I can actually make a living in this career. Well, I want to tell you a little story. Despite all the fear, I mustered up the courage to sign up for Chinese medicine school, and I just thought, even if it doesn't work out, I can always go back to that corporate job. Well, one day, as I am getting takeout from a Thai restaurant, I was feeling, especially that day, so stressed and so worried about how I could make ends meet because I hadn't had much savings at that point. And so I was getting takeout, and as I'm paying the gentleman, somebody taps me on my right shoulder and says, "Hey, you dropped something." And I looked at him and he looked friendly, and I looked down on the ground and I pick up 5 crisp $100 bills. Just the moment before I was stressing about money. The trippiest thing is, the moment I looked back, he had gone, vanished. And here I am holding these $100 bills at the counter, and the gentleman at the Thai restaurant looks at me as if the bills were transparent. And he goes, "Okay, have a good day, enjoy your food, bye-bye." And so I go to my friend's house, and my friend says, "Whoa, you just found that on the ground?" It's like, yeah, it was on the ground. The trippiest thing is this guy tapped me on the shoulder and pointed at the $100 bills, and then he vanished. And so we're all getting shivers at what just happened. And we thought, okay, maybe somebody left it at the restaurant. So I called the restaurant and I told them, and nobody claimed it. I put signs outside the restaurant, nobody ever claimed those $100 bills. Strange thing is that that was not the only thing that happened. Ever since I got up the guts to step into this new journey of changing my career to become a holistic medical doctor, one gift, one synchronicity lined up after another, and there was always enough. In fact, there was an abundance of resources and people and love and joy and support that guided me along this journey. So I invite you to consider, if you're feeling fearful about making a big life change, what is it that you're afraid of? Maybe you're afraid of letting go of the old you. Start thinking about that and question whether that's okay for you to let that go. Maybe you're afraid that the process of building, say, your new career requires a lot of time and energy and effort and expenses. That's a valid fear. Maybe you're afraid that once you start that new thing, new project, new career, it turned out it wasn't as good as you might have imagined it. These are all valid fears, but we need to sit down with our fears and really contemplate and allow life to show us signs to see if maybe we can overcome these fears to step into that next step. Having lived this experience of going through a scary change into that brighter, more awesome version of myself, all the challenges and tribulations, I'm so pleased now at the other side of it. There have been all kinds of unforeseeable gifts that I could not possibly have dreamed of before I stepped into this journey. And maybe you've had these experiences too, where you've made some dramatic life changes and life surprised you with all the gifts and opportunities that you could not possibly have foreseen. So I'm not saying just be totally impractical and live the life of a dreamer and not actually sit down and use your logical brain to make life work. But I'm saying really take time to encounter your fears and to see if they're really truly valid. We just never know what could happen if we follow our heart and do the thing that gives us the most joy and passion. And to give you courage, I have this amazing book that I love to recommend. It's called The Surrender Experiment, and it's written by a guy named Michael Singer. It's a book that when I encountered it, I opened 2 pages and I could not put it down. I read it cover to cover in one single day. I won't be able to do the whole story justice. Essentially, the book reads like one surprise after another. Life throws him one curveball and he surrenders into the challenge and the difficulty, and it turns into this amazing miracle. And then another curveball comes his way and he thought, okay, I just surrender to it and I say yes to life. I allow life to show me my next step after my next step after my next step. And then another amazing miracle happens. So he turns from being a long-haired, ponytailed, barefoot hippie living on this piece of land with a little house that he built with his own hands into being the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar, hugely, wildly successful computer software company that was public with hundreds of employees and so on, still with that heart of a sincere spiritual seeker who just knows that life is sacred and we can never know what magic and what beauty can unfold when we surrender ourselves fully to life's challenges and give our very best to every single situation. I encourage you to read this book. I promise you're gonna love it. Hey everybody, it's Dr. E. Did you like that video? If you did, please hit like and share with all your friends. You can also go onto our website and subscribe to our e-newsletter for free training and nuggets of awesomeness that we only share on our newsletter. Together, let's turn your life into a brilliant masterpiece.